this was not another Twilight. Just want to get that out of the way right now. Vampire Diaries means, well, it meant a lot to me, that TV series. It finally came to an end last Friday. They had the series final, and it's been 8 years that it's been on the air, and there's a reason why it's been on for 8 years. This show surprised me so much when it first premiered. I always refer things back to Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but that's just because it's a guideline to kind of go by. Before there was Buffy, we had a long hiatus of good comic book-like TV shows. And if it wasn't for Buffy, then we wouldn't have all the ones that came prior, especially things like Smallville. I just like to put that out there right away. Smallville wouldn't have existed if Buffy wasn't successful. And they tried to duplicate Buffy so many times. There's Dark Angel, there's even to a certain extent Birds of Prey. And I did like Birds of Prey. I was sad that it actually had to go, but I understand the reasons why it had to go and why people were upset with it. But Vampire Diaries was different. I thought it was going to be another Twilight, and I was afraid, but I kind of trust the CW because I've liked a lot of their shows throughout the years. And when it premiered, it just blew me away because they took a romance and made that a part of the story, but there was so many other things that revolved around that romance. There's so much, I'm not going to say drama, but there was so much, violence. That was one of the big things that threw me off. I thought it was going to be more like a Twilight. And Twilight, yes, it has action and all that stuff, but the stakes aren't too high. And you really don't even get to see blood that much in Twilight. This was like gritty and raw, and characters were just evil, malicious. Damon was just psychotic, for the first season. Just ripping people's hearts out, snapping people's necks. If you never watched the Vampire Diaries, if you watched the first season, you would understand, because there were things in the first season that just, like I said, blew me away throughout the whole season as it progressed. And characters that you began to love, and they made you love as much as possible, were taken away from you in a violent manner. This show, I don't know, they developed the characters so well over the years. I appreciated everything that they did. I mean, there was one season, which was the season, I think it was 3 seasons back, this is season 8. This is the last season, so it was probably season 6 or 5, where where the story arc for that season was about witches, and then Alaric and having 2 daughters and blah, 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 and all this other stuff that happened. It was a little convoluted. That was the only time when I kind of stepped back from Vampire Diaries. I'm like, this season doesn't need to exist. And I thought that maybe they need to be canceled now. But still, even within that type of a series, which we got Mon-El from, by the way, because he played, I always forget the name. Cade, I think it was? I can't remember. That's where he originally came from. Then he went to Containment, and then, Supergirl, Mon-El. That he played a psychotic person there, too. It's just crazy. He was a great thing about that season, but just the season in general, I wasn't a big fan of. And I was like, okay, too convoluted. The whole season needed to be trashed. But they redeemed themselves the next season, and the next season, and this season. This final season was really good. And I just want to say that for people who were ever skeptical about Vampire Diaries and didn't understand it, just watch season 1 and you'll get it. Great characters like Elena. I was mad when they killed off Elena, but I know she wanted to go do movies and she wanted to do different things. And I actually didn't like Elena when she became a vampire. I thought she was supposed to be stronger when she became a vampire, a little bit like Twilight. But she wound up being, in the Vampire Diary world, it heightens all your senses and your emotions and everything like that. And with her, it made her a little bit wussy, for lack of a better word. And I wasn't a big fan of that, but I still liked Elena. So when she actually died eventually, it took me back. I was like, no, you can't. That's a big part of the series. Elena was, before she became a vampire, she was the person who we saw through human eyes everything that was going on. And that's what made the stakes even greater when she was there, because we got to see it from her perspective, and it was scary because you think of how vicious these vampires were, what they were doing throughout all these years. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I was really sad. I actually I teared up on the last episode. when Bonnie finally got her powers back, and we realized that she really didn't lose them, and that's what I thought. And things like Enzo dying. Enzo became a really good character over the past 3 years, and it was just really sad that he died, but they still kept him in there. If you watch the series finale, they did a good job of that, and I can't say enough good things about the Vampire Diaries, and anybody who's skeptical, just watch it. Watch the first season. Go back and watch it. You'll need to watch all the rest, but you'll probably get hooked, and you probably will. I've had friends that I've told to watch it, and they were skeptical about it, and they did, and they're like, whoa, I didn't know the show was like this. I'm like, yeah, the show was like this, and a lot of people who you like from other TV shows came from the Vampire Diaries. It started there. And it's just great writing, great series. I'm sad that it's gone, but I think it was its time. It's been 8 years. And yeah. And that's all I guess I can say about that. I just go Vampire Diaries. Love it. We'll miss it. Miss seeing it every Friday that it got moved to Fridays. Yeah. Another series that had a final. This series I wanted to watch when Vampire Diaries was out, which is Teen Wolf. But it slipped through the cracks, and I never got to it. Teen Wolf, I finally got to catch up, I think, on the first 4 seasons. When I think like a couple years ago I started watching, and I was just like, whoa, this reminds me of a Buffy show, but with all that music video cinematography. I mean, like, it was beautiful. I think especially after season 1 of Teen Wolf, the cinematography was just incredible. Every single episode, just I'm not gonna say Michael Bay movie, but it just looked really, really good. And they did a really good job of Teen Wolf developing the characters. You cared for them, and we got a good guy. I can't remember his name in real life, but the person who plays Styles, loved him to death. I think he's one of the best actors on that show. And when the last season, they actually made it about him being missing. And the reason why he was missing, because they had these ghost riders come in, they took people away out of reality and trapped them somewhere, and everybody in the real world forgot about who that person was. And it was a great way of getting him away from Teen Wolf for that last season, because he's probably working on another Scorch Trials, Maze Runner, which I'm happy for him, because that movie did well, the last 2 ones. And I believe he's filming the 3rd one. I think he's such a good actor. I'll even say this, out of the whole cast, I think that he was the #1 actor out of the whole cast that I loved. He had range, he had everything. And I'm glad that he has that series. But the only thing I want to say about Teen Wolf is that I was happy with every single damn season. There wasn't one that really disappointed me. But the only problem I had with it was this last season. It was a cool thing that they did that with Styles, and it wasn't because Styles was missing throughout the series. It was just because of the fact that it was kind of a lame villain, the Ghost Riders or whatever. They were just kind of, I was like, they're annoying. It's like they're fighting ghosts this season. The stakes were high and everything, but it was just flat out annoying. And the way they ended at the final, because they had 6 seasons, that final episode, I was just like, that's it? That's all we get? We only get it. We only get the girl, the main characters. I can't even remember right now. The Argents, the family of the Argents. There was a daughter that was in love with the main character of Teen Wolf, and and I was like, you couldn't even get her to come back. You got her to come back earlier. Come back for the last episode. Do something, and they didn't. But it wasn't a satisfying ending, but it was an ending nonetheless. And I think that's another one. It's been 6 years. It's fine. It can end now. But they had a really good run, and we got some people out of it. A lot of people out of it. We got Superman, who plays on Supergirl, because he played Derek on Teen Wolf. And I remember when he was going to play, when they announced that he was going to play Superman, I was like, oh my god, that's good, but he was one of the ones out of all the people, acting-wise, I thought that he was a little, Then I said that in a Supergirl video. He's just a little, And I think he did a good job with Superman. He played it right. I said this before, he played it like Christopher Reeve type Superman. And I thought that was great. I wish that the series final of Teen Wolf would have been better, but all in all, if you take the whole series together, all the seasons and everything, they did a really good job. and that's another one that I think people should try or give a chance to review. Lots of action. They did a really good job of the action and everything like that. Cinematography, like I said, I love the cinematography out of all the seasons. First one was a little iffy because they didn't know if they were going to have all the money, but then they made the money. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sad to see Vampire Diaries go, and sad to see Teen Wolf go, but it was the time, and they had a really, really good run. And that's all I guess I want to say about it. Once again, my name is Michael S Garner. I draw an online comic book called Visions of the New, which you can see at visionsofthenew.com. You can download it on PDF. You can go to, there's a link to go to Magic Cloud if you want to get a printed version. I don't have it behind me now because I'm not sitting in an actual area where I have it hanging on the wall. Yeah, if you can check out my comic book and see if you like it, great. I will have a video coming pretty soon, hopefully today, that will explain those characters a little bit more detail, what I'm doing with the comic book and everything. I've said this in a few different videos and everything like that, and I keep saying it, and I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna do it, damn it, I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna leave you with some final photos of, not Teen Wolf, sorry, but of Vampire Diaries. Just some final scenes that happen, and I hope everybody has a good day. And thank you for watching. If you want to subscribe and see more videos from me, just click down below, and I will see you next time. It was a long and great journey. The Vampire Diaries meant so much to me and so many fans out there. I want to thank all the creators, writers, actors, and everyone involved in making a truly different and fantastic show. You inspired me and many more. It will be missed, but never forgotten. Thank you again for 8 years of great stories. Okay, who am I kidding? I had to put something here on Teen Wolf, so here's Teen Wolf in that great theme song.